Okay, we're actually going to go to 329. We're going to do the exercises first. So the first problem we had to do is number 9, and then I'll talk about the problems as I do them. Use the following election to illustrate the manipulability of the board account with 3 voters and 4 candidates. So that's voter 1, 2, 3. Now, here's what manipulated means. It means one voter, that's voter 1, voter 2, voter 3. It means the election didn't turn out the way one of the voters wanted, just one of the voters, and he's mad. So he's going to go back, kind of redo his ballot so that he gets the election more favorable to him. Okay? Now, more favorable means a variety of different things. More favorable can mean, well, what's going to let my candidate win, my top choice? Or what could, if my top choice can't win, what can I do to manipulate the voting so that the guy I hate the most at least loses? Okay? That's what manipulability means. Okay, so here was the results for election 1. Okay, I'm just going to copy them down on this paper. Okay, so it's the board account. Okay, so I got 4 candidates, A, B, C, and D. Now remember the board account. That's the point scoring system. So I take how many candidates I have and subtract 1, and here's my point system. 3 for first, 2 for a second place, 1 for a third. If you got fourth, you get shut out. Okay, so let's look at candidate A and do his board account. So he got first here, so that's going to be 3 points. Second here and second here, so 2 and 2. So that ends up giving him 7 points. Now B, okay? He got 2, 3, and 3. So he's at 8 points. Okay, now let's look at C. He got 1, 1, and 1, so he's not even close. He's at 3. D got last every time, so he's shut out. So according to the board account, B wins. Now what manipulation means is we're going to take this first voter right here. And I'm going to underline that because I need to make a new election. His guy didn't win. He's kind of bummed out. He wanted A to win. Well, here's what he can do to manipulate the election. He gets a revote. Just him, though. Just this guy in the far left column. He's still going to have his guy win. But what he's going to do is he's going to move B into last place. Even though he thinks B is the second best choice, he's going to move him to last because the other 2 aren't as much of a threat. So C, D, B. Okay, now let's look at this. A, B, C, and D. Okay, so A's board account is going to be the same thing. That's going to be unchanged. 4, 3, 3, 2, and 2. So 7. But now B's is going to get less because he's going to get shut out here. He'll get 3 and 3. Well, now he's only at 6, though. So C is still, even though C moves up, it's not going to matter because he still can't beat A. So 2 and then 1, 1. It's 4. And D's been moved up, but he's no threat. So 1. So A now wins. So this is going to be the answer they're looking for, is for you to just come up with that list. Okay, then we go to number 15. Combs rule is a voting system that operates like the Hare system, except that instead of deleting candidates with the fewest first place votes one after another, it deletes candidates with the most last place votes. Use the following ballots to show that Combs rule is manipulable. So I've got A, B, C, B, C, A, and it took me a little while to figure this one out. I eventually did. So let's run this election. Remember, what we're doing is whoever gets the most last place votes, like the hair system, you eliminated people if they got the least first place votes. Well, we're going to eliminate the ones with the most last. So C's last here, A's last here, and he's last here, B's last. Okay? So now C's eliminated. Okay? Now what we do is eliminate C, so then that's AB, BA, because remember C's eliminated, BA, AB, and wait a second, I screwed that up, okay, yeah. Forget everything I said about 15 so far, but we're going to do it, okay? A, B, C, I'm kind of doing it, B, C, A, B, C, A. Just forget everything I just did in number 15. Just, let's rewind. Okay, so we're keeping track of last, and if you get the most last, you're out. Okay, so A, B, and C. So C has one last place finish, A has two last place finishes, C has one, B has two. So these two are tied for the most last place finishes. These two guys are right here. Wait a second, B, dang it. Sorry. A has two last place finishes, B has two. C has one, okay? So therefore, these two right here are going to be eliminated because they both are tied for last and C ends up winning. Okay, that's how that's going to work. Okay, now this voter here, and always manipulate the far left voter. Okay, well, he's bummed his candidate didn't win. So what he's going to do is he's going to flip-flop, but he wants to keep his guy on top, okay? But he's going to flip-flop these two, so it's ACB, BCA, BCA, and everybody else has to say the same. All these exercises, you only change one candidate to show how that one candidate can manipulate the voting, okay? So even though he prefers B over C, he's going to flip them, so hopefully his candidate will end up winning at the end. Okay, so candidate A. Remember, you get last, you get the most last, and you're out. So how many last place? B has 3 last place now, and A has 2. C doesn't have any. But here's the thing, since it wasn't a tie for last, B's the only one eliminated. Now we do a runoff with A and C. So AC, CA, CA, AC, AC. So A, C. C's last here, A's last in the next two, but then C in the next two. C has more last place finishes than A does, so C's out and A ends up winning, okay? So now this guy, to get his top candidate as the winner, he just flip-flops those, and then the winner, his winner changes. It's like, even though he likes candidate B better than candidate C, if he puts C first, he's going to do that, even though that's not his true preference, so that his candidate, his top candidate, can win. Okay? This is what they'll be looking for the answer. Okay, sorry about me screwing that up the first time. Okay, now I think the next one we had to do is, we had to do number 12. I'm sorry, I skipped that one. Number 12. Okay, assume the following ballots give the true preferences of the voters and the board accounts being used. Show that at least one of the voters can improve the election outcome for her point of view by a unilateral change in ballot. All that means is we're going to change this ballot so that this gets a more preferred outcome. Okay, so we got B, C, D, A, D, C, A, B, C, A, B, D, and then B, A, C, D. Okay, so the board account A, B, C, D. Board accounts when you have to come up with your ranking. So 4 minus 1 is 3, so you get 3 for first. You get 2 for second. You get 1 for third. If you get fourth, you're shut out. Okay, so A gets fourth there, 1 there, 2 and 2. So he gets 5. Okay. B, he gets 3, nothing there, 1, and then 3. So now he gets a board account of 7. Okay, C gets 2 and 2, 3 and 1. Okay. Well, that's 8. Okay. D, he gets 1, 3, and then he gets shut out, so 4. So this guy, his guy didn't win. He preferred B to win. B didn't win. He didn't lose by much. He lost to C. He beat these other two, but he lost to C. So what he's going to do is he wants to manipulate this so that his guy, B, wins. Okay, so then what he's going to do is he's going to keep B in first place, obviously. He wants him to win, remember? And what he's going to use, since he got beat by C, even though C was his second choice, he's going to move C into dead last. And everybody else's vote stays the same. That's what manipulability is going to mean. Okay, so A, B, C, and D. Okay, so board account for A, 1, 2, and 2. Or sorry, my bad. It's 1, 1, 2, 2. Because you got 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so that's going to be 6. Now the B is going to keep his same thing. Okay, he gets 7. A crept up on him, but not enough to overtake him. That's why he moved him down. Okay, and then C. So C gets shut out there. He gets 2. And then 3. And then 1. Okay, so that gives him 6. Now he no longer beats B. Okay, D gets 2. 3, and then he gets last, so 5. Now B wins, okay? And that's what this guy preferred all along. Okay, so there we go. That's the answer. That's what you want to write now to turn in. Okay, and I already did 15. Now let's look at 16. Okay, use the manipulable system to use the following election to show that the Hare system is manipulable. Okay, so remember the Hare system. That's when you count. So the Combs rule is when you eliminated the guy with the most last. This you eliminate the guy with the fewest first place votes, and if they tie for the fewest, they're both eliminated. Remember that. Remember, tie for last means they're both eliminated. If it's a three-way tie, all three are eliminated. Okay, so Hare rule. Remember, we're keeping track of first place votes. So A gets 1. B is on top of the ballot once. They're on top. C's on top twice, and D's on top once. So then C wins because all the three of these guys technically tied for last. So C is the winner. But this guy didn't want C to win. He wanted A to win. Okay? And he also would rather have B win than C. Keep that in mind. Well, here's the thing. He can't move A up to first because A is already at first. So there's no way he's going to get another first place vote for A. That's impossible. We're going with this guy right here, always the guy in the far left. That's impossible because you can't move A up so he gets more first. You already have him in first. So he's like, okay, screw it. A can't win, so let's see if I can do something to get B to win. Okay? And that's what's going to happen here. He's going to move B up to first on his ballot because he wants, if A can't win, B's the next best choice. If you can't get your top one to win, then see if you can do something to get your second to win. Now let's see what happens. Make your new list and then see what happens. See if you get a different outcome. And it needs to be an outcome that this guy would actually want to happen. Okay, so A. Right now, A doesn't get any first place votes. So he's obviously not going to win. We already said. B, he now has 2. C has 2. And D has 1. Okay? So you eliminate this guy. He got last, but there's no way that's going to change anything if you take A out. Okay? Because if A is eliminated, then it's B, C, D, because A is out. B, C, D, C, B, D, C, B, D, D, B, C. And nothing really changes, okay? Now you're at B, C, and D. So B has 2 first, C has 2, and D has 1, so then D's eliminated from that. Okay, now we're talking B and C. So I got B ahead of C here. B ahead of C. C ahead of B. C ahead of B, but the last guy is B ahead of C. So now B is on top of more ballots there, so B wins the election. Because this guy couldn't get his top choice to win, but he'd rather have B than C. So what he did was he moved B to the top so B can get more first. And now B's the winner. Kind of see as I'm doing that how it works. Okay, number 17. Use the following election to show that the plurality runoff rule is manipulable. Okay, so here's what you're going to do with plurality runoffs. Okay. It's kind of like plurality voting. It's going to be the most first place votes is all we keep track of. But when you run off, it's kind of plurality runoff is kind of like the Hare system. It's kind of the exact same principle. A's on top of 2, C has 2, and B has 1. Now you're counting as first. So B's eliminated. Now I run off A against C. So B's gone. So it's AC, AC. CA, CA, and CA. Well, clearly now C is going to be the winner in the runoff because he gets 3. A gets 2, C gets 3, C wins. However, that sucks for this guy because he didn't want C. C's like the one he wants to win the least. Okay? Now, again, with this plurality and Hare system, it's not going to help him really. He can't have his guy win, okay? Because you're only keeping track of first place. Unlike the board account where the other places actually get points, only thing that matters here is first. Well, I can't move A any higher, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have B come up here and win, and we still want C to be in that last place, okay? So A, B, C, because he doesn't want C. Definitely doesn't want. And everybody else stays the same. You only manipulate the first one. Okay, now let's see what happens. Because we know, remember, he can't move A up. A can't get any more first just from this voter. Okay, it's only one voter can change it. Okay, so A, B, and C. So now B has 2, C has 2, A has 1, so A's gone. Okay? So now A's gone, you got BC, BC, CB, CB, and BC. Now it's very apparent that B is going to win, okay? So if A couldn't win, he'd just soon have B win. He did not want C to win, so now B wins. And this is the answer that they're going to want. Okay, or just put that the voter on the far left changes to BAC, something like that. Okay, and on 16, the one we did before, this is what you want to write on 16, or just write for voter number 1 changes to that. Okay, last one. This is going to be quite a lot shorter than the last one. Okay, number 18, because there's not like all these problems with like an A, a B, and a C that I have to do. So that sequential pairing is manipulable and the agenda is ABC. Okay, so sequential pairing is when I pair them off, and it goes ABC. So first we got A versus B. Okay. Well, A's preferred there, B's preferred there, and A's preferred there. Okay. So A does win. So now A goes on to face C. However, that's a different story because A wins, but then C wins the other two. So C wins at the end, okay? Again, though, that's the one he wanted to win the least, okay? He wanted him to win the least, okay? So how can he manipulate that? So first, maybe A can win. Well, about the only thing he can do, he needs to keep A on top. So if he flips C and B, even though he prefers B over C, we'll see what happens there. So remember, we got to run A versus B first. A is still ahead. Wait a second, how's that going to change it? So, okay, so we'll try that first. So A is still ahead, A versus B. Okay, so A is preferred to be in 1, 1, and 1. So B is eliminated. Now let's go A and C. Okay. Well, A and then C and C. So that didn't work. C still wins. Okay. Well, the only other thing you can do is say, okay, there's no way my guy can win. So what I'm going to do, I'd rather have B than C. So I'm going to move B up to the top of the list. Okay. So B, A, C. And the other ones stay the same, remember. Don't change the other ones. So A versus B. Okay. Now here B's preferred. B's higher than A there. So now A's gone. Now B goes on to confront C. We'll see how that shakes out. So B wins, and C wins. So B wins, okay? So he couldn't get A to win, but it's better than that B wins than C. So he manipulated his ballot, even though A was the one he wanted to win the most. He said, okay, A can't win the most when it goes head-to-head, so I need to move B ahead so that at least B at the end is going to win that. Okay, that's all I have to say on that. I hope it's been informative, and then on the other video we go over the skills practice.